Have you ever done an exercise that looked unbelievably simple, only to realize later you've been doing it wrong your entire life? Most people think the bird dog is just a gentle warm-up, something you do quickly before the real workout. But here's the shocking truth. If you're doing the bird dog incorrectly, not only are you wasting your time, you're actually reinforcing the exact muscle imbalances that cause lower back pain, poor posture, and weak core stability. And you might be doing it wrong without even knowing it. Let me ask you this. When you extend your arm and leg, do you feel your core actively bracing, almost like you're locking your spine into place? Or are you just lifting your limbs and hoping that's enough? Because what looks like a simple movement is actually a precision drill for your nervous system, a test of whether your body can maintain control under motion. If you fail that test, every other exercise you do, squats, deadlifts, even running, is being built on a shaky foundation. The biggest mistake people make is thinking this is a stretch. It's not. It's a stability exercise. Watch someone rush through it and you'll see the hips swaying, the lower back collapsing, the arm flopping up without tension. They're moving, but nothing is actually happening where it matters. Deep in the core, in the stabilizers that protect the spine. It's like trying to tighten a bolt with your fingers instead of a wrench. There's motion, but no force. Here's something most people don't realize. Your body is always looking for shortcuts. If your core doesn't engage, your lower back will step in to do the work. If your glutes don't activate, your hamstrings will try to take over. And when that happens during a bird dog, you've turned a corrective exercise into a compensation pattern. This is exactly how people end up with tight hamstrings, sore lower backs, and a core that never seems to activate, no matter how many crunches they do. Think about this for a second. If you had to stand on one leg on a moving train, would you let your hips wiggle and your spine collapse forward? No. You'd brace, stabilize, focus. That's exactly what your body is meant to do during a bird dog. The bird dog is not about how high you lift. It's about how still you can keep everything else. And here's where most people mess it up. They chase range of motion instead of tension. They kick their leg up high, arch their back, and think that's progress. But the real bird dog is about resisting movement. It's about building spinal reflexes that keep you strong, balanced, and pain-free in real life when you're picking up a box, reaching overhead, or sprinting forward. Now, I'm not going to give you the full step-by-step perfect form just yet, because to really master it, you need to understand the why behind each movement. Otherwise, it just becomes another exercise you do on autopilot. So before we get into proper execution, let's expose what's going wrong. Do you ever feel your hand pressing into the ground unevenly when you start the movement? That's your shoulder tracking out of alignment. Or maybe your toes are curled into the floor, gripping like claws. That's your body trying to find stability in the wrong places. These are all signs your core isn't actually doing the stabilizing. It's outsourcing the job. And if that's happening, this exercise is not helping you. It's training your body to cheat. But here's the exciting part. When you do it correctly, even just once, you'll feel your entire midsection switch on like a power grid lighting up. You'll feel a line of strength from your fingertip to your heel. It won't feel like stretching or lifting, it'll feel like controlling. And when that happens, you'll understand why elite athletes, physical therapists, and spine specialists all swear by the bird dog as one of the most important core exercises you'll ever perform. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to do the bird dog, you'll own it. You'll feel the difference in your very first rep. So let's break it down layer by layer and turn this deceptively simple move into one of the most powerful tools in your entire training arsenal. Are you ready to feel what real core control actually is? Before we even think about lifting an arm or a leg, everything starts with the foundation. Because if your base isn't stable, the movement doesn't matter. So here's the first big question you need to ask yourself. Is your core actually supporting you, or are you just resting on your joints? Most people get this wrong in the very first second of the bird dog. And from that point on, every rep is compromised. Get down on all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Simple, right? But here's the truth. This position is not just a starting point, it's the first test. Your hands shouldn't just be placed on the ground, they should be rooted. Imagine you're trying to rotate your hands outward but without actually moving them. like you're screwing them into the floor. The second you apply that subtle external rotation, your shoulders lock into a stable position. Your lats activate, your upper back stops collapsing. That's your stability kicking in. Now look down at your knees. Are you just resting them on the floor? Or are you pressing down through them as if trying to lift your body upward without actually moving? That gentle drive through the knees activates your glutes and deep hip stabilizers. If you skip this, your hips will sway the second you lift a limb, and you'll think it's a balance problem, when actually it's a stability problem. Here's the test. If someone were to gently nudge your shoulder right now, would you wobble? Or would your entire body respond as one unit, solid and controlled? Because the goal is not to fight motion, it's to prevent motion in the first place. Now the spine. This is where 90% of people lose control. Most people drop into a sagging lower back or overcorrect and round like a scared cat. Neither is correct. You want what's called a neutral spine, but let's make that real, not just a fancy term. Imagine you're balancing a glass of water on your lower back. Not a bottle with a cap on, an open glass. Your job is to make sure not a single drop spills. That slight natural curve in the spine should feel supported, not forced. Take a breath in through your nose, let your belly expand gently. Not a big dramatic breath, just enough to fill your core. Then, as you exhale, imagine tightening a wide belt all the way around your waist. Your sides firm up, your lower back engages, your abs come online, but you're not sucking in. You're bracing, like you're about to get gently punched in the stomach. That's the feeling you need before you ever move an inch. Here's the mistake: people rush. They start lifting limbs immediately, believing movement is the goal. But in the bird dog, movement is the test, not the purpose. The purpose is control. If your body isn't already locked in place before motion begins, you've already failed the rep. Now do this: freeze. Hold this setup. Hands pressing, knees anchoring, spine neutral, core braced. Don't move yet. Just breathe. Can you maintain your brace while breathing normally? This is critical. If you can't breathe and brace at the same time, you're using the wrong muscles. True core stability means being able to stay engaged while breathing, not holding your breath to force stability. Do you feel a mild shake in the core? That's a good sign. That means deep stabilizer muscles are firing, muscles you normally don't feel in traditional ab exercises. Those muscles are your body's internal safety system, and the bird dog activates them better than almost any other movement, when done correctly. Now here's where people unknowingly sabotage themselves. They think the bird dog is an arm and leg exercise, when in reality, it's a spine exercise. The limbs are just tools to challenge spinal stability. If you lift a leg and your lower back moves even a centimeter, that rep is done. Not because you failed, but because your body just told you exactly where your weakness is. So before we move on, take a moment and check in. Are your hips level? Is your belly hanging toward the ground? Are your shoulders creeping up toward your ears? If so, reset. There is no point in progressing forward until this foundation is locked in. This is the difference between someone who just does the bird dog and someone who uses it to transform their body from the inside out. Because once the base is solid, the movement becomes effortless. And that's exactly what we're going to unlock in the next part. How to initiate the lift without losing a millimeter of control, and how a tiny change in mindset flips the bird dog from a basic rehab move into a powerful athletic builder. Ready to learn the first phase of the lift? This is where everything changes. Now you know the truth. Bird dog isn't just a warm-up. It's a full-body integration drill that rewires your core, restores spinal control, and builds strength where it matters most, deep beneath the surface. When you move your arm and leg with absolute control, while your spine remains completely still, that is your body telling you, I am stable, I am aligned, I am powerful. That is not just exercise, that is high-level athletic performance. So let's recap the flawless rep. You begin rooted, hands pressing through the floor, knees engaged, spine neutral. You brace the core like a protective shield, then slowly extend opposite arm and leg, not to chase height, but to lengthen through the body, creating a straight line of active tension. Your hips stay level. Your belly doesn't drop. Your lower back doesn't move. You pause. You own that position. Then you return with control, resisting gravity the entire way. That's one perfect rep. And here's your challenge. Drop down right now and give me 10 flawless reps. Slow, controlled, intentional. Count only the reps where you feel total body tension and zero spinal movement. If you do this right, you won't feel tired in your arms or legs. You'll feel your core fully awakened, like a deep, stabilizing force has finally switched on. This is where true strength begins, not in how much you can lift, but in how well you control your own body. And if those 10 reps humbled you, good. That means you just discovered the exact area that's been holding back your strength, your posture, and your performance. Master this move and every other exercise you do from this point forward. Deadlifts, squats, running, even daily movements will instantly become stronger, safer, and more efficient. So here's your next step: commit. Practice this daily for 1 week. Not fast, not flashy, perfect. Because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your training. And after today, your level just went way up. Are you ready to own your body from the inside out? Then let's get to work.